grateful every day. Covered in favor, doused in grace. Only good vibes rolling through my way. Thankful that the Lord woke me up today. Got a loving family and solid friends. Ones that'll ride for me till the end.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of 369, So Much More Than Travel. And at this point, I just pushed the button. I don't know if I'm recording or if I'm live. So if you are just tuning in on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, shout out to the girl. Let me know that you are watching. And if you are chiming in from YouTube, go ahead, click like and click share. Click like, click share, and subscribe to my Jubilee the Comedian channel. Guess what today is? My favorite day in the whole wide universe, Transparency Tuesday. Yes, it is Transparency Tuesday, and I'm always transparent, but I get extra transparent on Tuesdays because it rhymes. So welcome to Transparency Tuesday. I am super duper excited because guess what? I just got off of our travel meeting call, and it is day 18. Day 18 of our 90-day faith and freedom challenge. And I don't know about you, but I'm telling you, on this Transparency Tuesday, I have not been doing my assignments. This is one of the assignments. So I wasn't doing it. So this is me being proactive and doing my assignment because you know why? I understand the assignment. I'm on kingdom business. Okay. I'm not, this ain't even about me. I'm the action steps that I'm taking right now and during these 90-day faith and freedom, these last 6 years, actually, because it's been my whole life has been a whole totally different type of ball game. And I didn't know it was going to be like that. And it's been for the better. But this week, because this is day 18. So this week, our scripture is based on Proverbs 3 verses 5 and 6. And it says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. I remember the journey of these last 6 years. It's been a very interesting journey, and it turned out to be so much more than what I thought it would actually be. And before I get into this thing, because it is the season to be jolly and the season of giving. So what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to take the time, click on the link. It's also in the description box. Click on it, fill it out. Let them know I sent you, Tanya Evans, and you will be entered into a drawing. I like to help people. I'm not trying to get anything from you. I'm trying to get something to you. And that's always been a part of my DNA. I'm a very giving person. I'll give you the shirt off my back and the shoes off my feet if I could. And be walking around, driving around with just socks on my feet. But that's just the type of person I am. So with this, it gives me a chance to do some giving. We're going to be giving away over $1,200 worth of goodies for the season. Merry Christmas. One of the goodies is like up to $150 worth of gift cards. And another one that I know for sure is like a 3-night getaway. So you don't have to buy anything. You're under no obligation. The only thing you have to do is fill out that travel survey. There's the link. Fill it out. Give me your honest feedback. What do you want? Where do you see yourself in the next? What are the plans for 2026? I'll start with that. New Year's is coming up. We're getting ready to have Christmas. We just had Gobble Gobble Day. And what are your plans for next year, because I find if you do the same thing that you did last year, you're gonna get the same results. What I did last year is I traveled all over the place, and I plan on doing that again this year. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to book me a little getaway for the new year, because I want to do something. Marcy's birthday is the day after Christmas, so we want to go somewhere. They're looking for another adventure. My grandchildren look forward to these trips, and I do too, because I like if I'm not at the house, if I'm out and about, then I'll go explore. But then it's a beautiful thing when you can take your grandchildren, and they're perfect. I don't know any other people's grandchildren that is perfect as mine, but my babies are perfect. So they can, and they still talking about the San Antonio trip and the Disney World trip. So I got to give them something else to talk about. So we're going to take a trip. So you can use that getaway to come meet me for the New Year's. I mean, it's cold. I got my hoodie. It's hoodie season down here in North Kakalaki, but I could be complaining. I could be stuck up in Cleveland, Ohio, where all that snow is, where I'm from. I could have went home, but I decided to stay home and just chill out because I'm relocating. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's all amazing. And thinking of the verse, trust in the Lord. Hey, when I moved to North Carolina, I didn't know nobody. I didn't know a soul. When I moved to North Carolina, I'm gonna be all the way 100 with you. My brother was stationed in Fayetteville, North Carolina, on Fort Bragg, and he had just came home on leave from his tour in Afghanistan, and he was like, "Sis, can you help me move to North Carolina?" And I was like, and it was a blizzard. It was December 3rd, actually, 2005. I'll never forget this day. It was December 3rd, 2005. And my brother was like, "Hey, Carol Caspar, thanks for chiming in." But my brother was like, "Sis, I'm getting ready." And he didn't, and the messed up thing about it, this how I know it was God leading me down this path. Because he didn't even tell me he was in town. He was just coming to get his wife and kids, and he was about to leave. But then I found out he was here. He was in Cleveland, and I called him and I said, "Oh, so you really wasn't gonna tell me you was home?" He was like, "I just came to get my family. Matter of fact, why don't you help me drive down to North Carolina? I'll send you back." And I was like, how far of a drive is North Carolina? And he was like, "About 13 hours. And it was a blizzard. I mean, it was white outside. You couldn't see nothing. But I was like, 13 hours. If I drive 13 hours all the way to North Carolina, I'm not coming back to Ohio." And he was like, "And what's keeping you here?" And I'm telling you, my brother gave me every reason. Like, what's keeping you here? You can take your kids. You can stay with us. Blah, 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 blah. And then my niece, Tony, I call her Tony Boney. Tony I think she was 5 at the time. And she just came in the room out of nowhere and talking about some auntie. What's keeping you here? Man, I packed up whatever I did that I left everything behind, just packed up important stuff and left Cleveland, Ohio. I ain't tell nobody. I just left with 2 children, 2 small children, and not a clue. But that was me going on. And let me tell you about that. My brother, he was stationed down in Fayetteville, North Carolina for 4 months. He was there, and then he got orders to Germany. He gave me the option: I can send you back to Cleveland, or you can stay here. And I found a job within the first 2 weeks, found me a crib within the first month. So I stayed. And from 2005, December 3rd, the date, because today is my baby's birthday. Happy heavenly 28th birthday to my baby. He would have been 28 years old. And that's another thing. I used to couldn't breathe around this time. This is Transparency Tuesday. I'm just going to keep it 100. I couldn't breathe. I used to couldn't breathe around this time, like self-consciously. after Thanksgiving, I would be aggravated. I would be in my feelings. Didn't know why. But December 2nd, my baby birthday, and December 3rd, my baby just turned 8 years old, and Tim was 9, and I had a 8 and a 9-year-old going down to North Carolina without a clue, without a plan. I just went on faith. I put that faith without works is dead. See, I'm learning the more time I spend with Christ and in his word, and his word is telling me what to do and how to live my life. And I read it, I see it, but a lot of times I'm gonna be all the way honest. I don't do it. I didn't do it. And thank you, sweetheart. And the fact that the word actually tells you to be hearers and don't only be hearers, but doers of the word. I only been doing one part because I be hearing what he said, but I don't be doing what he be telling me to do. Ain't that something? And let me just tell you, sin is stuff that you don't do that you know you're supposed to do too. And what I know is I have more time behind me than I do ahead of me. And I don't want to waste another day not doing what the Lord says so. That's just not, because I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to make it in, y'all. I'm trying to make it in. And if I can help somebody live, like see the stuff and the struggle that I go through, if that'll help you get on the right path, make you want to do better for yourself. Because, hey, I can only focus on me and my soul. Like, this is 369, you guys. This is so much more than travel. And y'all know I'm always going to be coming on here with so much more than travel. Hey, I see you chiming in on Instagram, Stan B3. Thanks for chiming in. But it's getting easier. Now I know, like, because I used to ask the question, like, how am I going to do this? Continue living on this earth and don't have my son. And each day it gets better because I'm trusting in the Lord. I don't have a clue as to what he doing out here. I just be telling him don't do it without me, but he don't make no mistakes. And as I look back over my life, I thought about all the times that God has saved my life. Like all the times that he has saved my life. And he got to be saving me for something, right? I remember I was born to a parent that didn't want me. I had a parent that didn't want me. They said it out their own self mouth, and it's all right. But they said it. But but I'm still here. You like that? You like that the here? I'm here. I remember my brother. I got a brother that's a couple years old, just 2 years older than me, and I used to get my butt whooped for everything. Now that I think about it, I don't even half the stuff. I got my butt whooped so much that half the stuff I didn't even know why I was getting hit. I just knew I was getting hit, and I'm so glad I can laugh about this stuff now. But when my mama wasn't hitting me, my brother was. I kid you not. It was like he was trying to be my daddy and he was whooping me. I'm going to be all the way honest. So every time she would go to work, and I'm just talking about the times that God has saved my life. And all the time she would go to work, he would be beating on me, trying to beat on me, chasing me around the house. We had a babysitter, but the babysitter was on drugs. Look, this is See, I'm supposed to tell this story. This is Transparency Tuesday, and this is what you get on here. But I had a cousin on drugs, so she stayed in the bathroom getting high. And my brother would threaten me. He would like this, and if you tell mama, I'm going to beat your butt again. You know how kids be cussing, and it really don't sound right. But they do it anyway. Because, only, Dave, I'm live. I don't want to. Oh, man. Well, this is Transparency Tuesday. Lady K, I'm going to call you back because I'm live. I'm doing my homework. So I'm going to call you back, okay? After I finish. I'm almost finished. I'm going to call you back. Okay, my bad, y'all. This is Transparency. Look, what you see is what you get. It is what it is. Talk back to me. Sometimes, when you be at work, you get phone calls at work. You ain't supposed to be on the phone, but you get on the phone and answer that call. And that was a very important lady. So I had to, take that call. But back to the story. And I waited because I was scared of my brother. He my big brother. I was scared. And for a minute I didn't tell. I was getting toe out the frame. But let me tell you how God saved me from that. One day he was chasing me around the house and he almost caught me. He was hitting, he was swinging the belt, but it was the belt buckle that he was swinging at me, right? Man, that table caught that eye. He ran into the table and it caught him right there. The boy didn't hit me no more. And I ended up telling my mama because, of course, somebody had to explain why he had a mark right here. He almost poked his eye out. Yeah, God don't like ugly. I love you too, Auntie Brenda. But God don't like ugly. And he's that was another way. Another time that God has saved my life. We was real little too, like little bitty kids. But let's get a little older. So when I was 10 years old, here's another time God saved my life. When I was 10 years old, my big brother again. I think he been trying to hurt me all my life. That's why I don't be around him. But once again, he got mad because the church van, we was going to Calvary Hill Baptist Church, and the church van had left, but we was supposed to stay there. Now at this time, I'm 10 and he 12. And where we stayed at, and Carol Casper can attend. So the church, Calvary Hill Baptist Church, was on 105 in Quincy or in Cedar, on Cedar, 105 in Cedar, Carol. We lived at the time in Morris Black, like it was a street called Mark Carmel. That's where we lived at. So for a teen in the dead of winter, like all the bad stuff happened to me in the dead of winter. And y'all gonna hear about it tonight. It be the winter time that bad stuff be happening. So it was a blizzard, and we ended up he had us walking from 105 in Quincy or Cedar to Morris Black. Not the project parts, but the street that we lived on was Mark Carmel. But the projects was right there. So we walking, it's cold. I ain't got no boots on. My coat wasn't heavy because we were supposed to be on the doggone church bus. We ain't had no business at 10 and 12 walking that far. That's one thing. But God favored us. God favored me, okay? But then my uncle saw us walking, him and my auntie, and picked us up. My auntie Deborah, my Uncle Rodney and my auntie Deborah. They picked us up, and I'm talking about Uncle Rodney was fussing us out. What in the world is y'all doing? Walking, da 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 da. But we had to go to he had to go to run to the store for my grandma. The name of the store was Tops on Buckeye. I'll never forget this day. I had on some white shoes, some slippery shoes. It wasn't even no boots, y'all. And y'all know how it gets slushy, snow. Excuse me, snow gets slushy and stuff like that. Yeah, it was bad out there. But Uncle Rodney was in the car, and my auntie Deborah said that I can get out the car and go into the store with her. It was the name of the store was Tops. And then Shannon was like, "Can I go?" And she was like, "No, you stay with your uncle." Because he's still fussing you out for walking all this time. So Shannon held my coat. I ain't gonna even lie. He held my coat somehow. Somehow my coat got caught in the door. And my uncle too busy fussing and ain't paying attention. He dropped us off at the door and then drove off to go in the parking space. He wasn't paying attention, drug my behind all the way almost to the parking space until my auntie started screaming and hollering. My whole right side of my body was scraped up to the white meat. But that whole time I'm running alongside the car, I was trying to keep up, and I was hitting on the window. My brother sat there and watched me the whole time. So I know he had something to do with that. I know he had something, but I'm still here through it all. I made it. Oh, I ain't done. No, I ain't done. So another time after that, the Lord saved my life. I think I was 15 at the time. Yeah. Being fast. My daddy had just died. So I was acting out. I can say that. I acted out. I had a mama that didn't love me, and my daddy had just died. I was just turned 15, 3 months shy of my sweet 16th birthday. Yep, I'll never forget that day either. But I almost got kidnapped. It was math proficiency time, and when you pass all the levels of the proficiency test, you didn't have to go to school until late. Here I go, being fast, and it wasn't snowing. It was in March. Matter of fact, because after this, my dad died the next day after this happened. That was the first real shift in my life. At 15, my father passed away. March 3rd, 1993. March 4th, 1993. March 5th. March 3rd. Yep. My father passed away March 5th. March 3rd, we had math proficiency time. And I had passed all the levels except for the math part. So when you pass the levels, you get to come to school late. And I was leaving out the house as if I needed to be in school on time. And this man, I was 15, this man was 25 years old. He looked like Tupac. I met him at my job because I had a job at the mall, at Randall Park Mall. And working at Caramel Popcorn. I was making popcorn. I had 2 jobs at that time. Popcorn, working part-time at the popcorn place, Caramel Popcorn, and JCPenney. Because, hey, I had to work to get my school clothes and stuff like that. Okay? That's going to be another story for another time. Right now, I'm talking about all the times that God saved my life. And the man bought me a 40-ounce, the first time I ever had a drink in my life. It was a 40-ounce of Old English beer. Yep, Old English beer. Long story short, when I got home, my mom was already, I was used to getting my butt whooped anyway. My mom was whooping me for stuff that I didn't even do. So now I'm just gonna do what I want to do now. So came home drunk, and I told my mom and my grandma about themselves. And you know, a drunk mind. Yes, that old Auntie Brenda. That yeah, that. But I went home and told my mama and my grandma exactly how I felt. And my mama didn't whoop me that time. I was surprised. She took me to the hospital. She took me to the emergency room. My alcohol blood level was over the legal limit, and I wasn't even legal. I was only 15. And she told me, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, she told me, she was just, I ain't gonna whoop your butt today. She ain't say whoop my butt. My mom is a cusser. They used to call her the dragon lady because she would smoke them cigarettes and the smoke would come out her nose and she'd be so just angry and stuff. You know who that, you know Stan B, you know who that is, who I'm talking about. But anyway, she said, I ain't gonna whoop you tonight because when I get you, I want you sober. And we ain't had no school the next day. So can you imagine me? I knew I was gonna get. Look, that is really why I'm so slim, because my mama whooped me so much, she messed up my metabolism. I think she just messed up my metabolism, and she whooped me so much, and that's why I just stay slim all my life. I can eat whatever it is that I want to eat, but I ain't gonna gain no weight. But she told me she was gonna tear me up. She was gonna whoop me until she was gonna beat my until she got tired. That's what she had said. That's how she put it. And so the next day she was at work. My brother was teasing me, talking about how I'm gonna get my butt whooped. The house had to be clean. I grew up like Cinderella. I was like a slave. Clean this house. Do these dishes. Ain't nobody got to do it. Just do this. Yeah, I was like a slave. So I knew when I left, I wasn't ever coming back. But anywho, God saved my life. I'm gonna tell you, because my mom was gonna kill me. Like, I don't think, matter of fact, she kept calling me periodically during the day, telling me what she was gonna do to me when she got home, right? Then, if she wasn't running up in the mouth, telling me all the stuff she was gonna do, here go my grandma. And another thing. You know how petty people be petty. So, then the phone rang. And that was the day that changed my life forever. The phone rang and all I heard was her yell out, "Oh No. And then I went in the room and she had this look on my face like, I ain't gonna tell this girl that she gonna wild out and kill everybody in this house. I ain't, She didn't say nothing. Nobody told me nothing. Everybody knew that my dad had passed away in his sleep, but he was trying to wait until my mama got home. I didn't get no whooping. I would have rather took the whooping, to be honest. But that was another time God saved my life because my mom was going to kill me that day. But after that, oh, man, I was getting my butt toked. When my dad died, no, there was nobody there to save me. I didn't get to see no family members on my daddy's side of the family. I had to get over the fact that my daddy was gone and he ain't never coming back. Your damn daddy. I'm talking about, I grew up rough, y'all, rough. Just rough. Look, y'all don't know nobody's story until they tell you. Y'all just think I be laughing and joking and going through, just crazy. Look, y'all might want to be happy that I laugh and joke the way I do, because, boy. But anyway, that was another time God saved my life, but he took my daddy. But he didn't take him because it was his time. But hey, I'm just saying, my dad was 37 years old, just went to sleep and didn't wake up. That's the way I want. If I go, when I go, that's the way I want to go. But no time soon. I want to be old and decrepit, and I want to be taking like 2 days to look down the street. But I want to be in my right mind though. Let me be in my right mind. Don't let me not know who I'm is, because if I'm is, just take me out, because I'm already gone. But another time God saved my life was 2003, January 23rd, 2003. And this is all tying in to trusting in the Lord with all of my heart and leaning not to my own understanding, but in all my ways, acknowledging him, because he will direct my path. And if I allow life to life me, because life can life you if you let it. But if I allow life to life me, I'm just so happy I don't look like what I've been through. And I don't act like what I've been through. I'm just so happy. I'm thankful for that. But another time, 2003, 2003, January 23rd, 7 o'clock in the morning, I was in the bed sleeping good, y'all. Sleeping good. I think I had some slob and everything on my mind, but I was sleeping good. Then I heard a loud bow, and it woke me up out of my sleep. Enough for me to go, long enough to woke me up enough to make me want to go use the restroom, look out the window to see what that loud, it was a loud bow. Looked at the clock. It was like, 7 o'clock in the morning. Get back in the bed, lay down, doze off a little bit. Hear another bow. I look at the clock. It's like 7:45. Like, what's going on outside? This time, my boyfriend at the time woke up. You hear that? And we both look out the window. We both looking out the window. We don't see nobody. Get back in the bed. And here I say, what if somebody outside shooting and one of their bullets come in and hit one of us? Man, I heard a loud voice that said, brace yourself. Just like y'all can hear me right now, that's how loud the voice was. It wasn't my boyfriend. It was a loud voice in my head saying, brace yourself. Because I remember saying to myself, brace myself for what? And then next thing you know, I felt heat and smelled meat burning. And it was like some pressure, and I snatched the blanket off of me, but it was stuck to my leg. I said, Lord have mercy, I've been shot. Me. Somebody shot. Somebody was outside shooting. And one of their nice little bullets came in from outside and hit me in my knee. I'm talking about it lodged. Look, it shattered my whole kneecap, part of my femur, and lodged in my hip by the time I went to 2 different hospitals. The first hospital, Carol, I went to Metro Health. I call that Mount Suicide. And what they did to me was unbearable. This little Chinese lady came in there with a long piece of gauze, a long needle, and my leg was about this big. It was no blood because the blanket was stuck to my leg, but my right leg had got this big, and my little other leg was just like this big. And I was like, oh my gosh. So the ambulance came, fire department, police, all that stuff. They came and everything, and it was all men. I ain't had no clothes on. It was all men, and all they wanted to do was see. Everybody just come to see. See. If y'all don't get me out this doggone house, somebody will shot me. Then they took me. I told them to take me, because at that time I was driving for juvenile court, the juvenile system. So I told them I had insurance. Take me to Cleveland Clinic, and I stayed on 100th and Buckeye. So it was on that side of town. Cleveland Clinic is on the same side of town as Buckeye, but they took me all the way to Metro Hospital. Yeah, Metro. So by the time I got to the first hospital and they did x-rays and all that, they say they couldn't find the bullet. No exit wound, but they couldn't find the bullet. So that little doctor gonna put a piece of square gauze on the entry wound of my knee, put my whole leg in this leg immobilizer, and told me to come back on Monday. I got shot on a Wednesday, y'all. Talk back to me. How many days is that? So, hey, Sauce the Barber, why would you want me to stay with this bullet somewhere in my body from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for 5 days? Are you crazy? So I literally got a ride from Metro. Now there's some more bumping and jumping around, and that's why ain't nobody see the bullet in the x-ray, because it's just a traveling. I got shot with a 22. It's just a traveling through my poor little riddled old body. I was like 110 pounds at the time, just pitiful. But I got a ride to Cleveland Clinic where they had to rush me into emergency surgery to remove the bullet. I couldn't walk for 3 years, y'all. Y'all should have seen me driving with my right foot and the left leg over in the so when I moved to North Carolina, oh yeah, I was trying to, I didn't want to be in that house no more where I got shot. And 2003 was a crazy year. I got shot in January. February, I went to the bank at Charter One Bank downtown, and it got robbed while I was in there. I'm telling you, God be saving my life. But I was in a bank when it got robbed. Look, my life has never been never a dull moment in this life here. You know what I'm saying? My life is like a movie. You remember? Yeah, I'm chiming in. I'm checking at the comments. Yes, you remember that, because I used to stay with y'all because I didn't want to stay in that house. Sauce the Barber, you was right. You remember when I got shot. But bottom line is, look, to God be the glory. To God be the glory. That was another time God saved my life. And he is still saving it today, because I'm telling y'all, after I lost my brother in 2012 to gun violence, them doggone friends. All your friends is alive, but my brother gone. That's another story for another day. Then my stepfather had a broken heart, so he passed away right after Lil Desi. Then my son, like crazy. And some cousins and stuff like that done passed away during these times. I remember one of my little cousins, Lauren, she passed away from some type of cancer. Then my other cousin, Linda, passed away. I'm talking about every doggone time I turned around. My mother in love passed away after my son passed. God has listened. But I didn't give up. I fainted not. I just keep trusting, because all of these people that I'm naming, if I just stay on the path that God has for me, and I do what he say do, and stop worried about what man say. At this point, y'all, judge me. Feel free. I don't even have the time and energy. I know 3 things. Y'all ain't got no heaven or hell to put me in. So I am, when I move different, it don't look like everybody else's because I'm not like everybody else. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am more than a conqueror. You hear all this stuff that I'm talking about that has gone on in my life. And so when y'all be telling me, no, I don't want to come on, that don't bother me because rejection is not my portion. Y'all just not ready. And it's because y'all mindset, y'all got to change your mindset to change your situation. I promise you that. If you change your mindset, you will change your situation. And y'all not doing me no favors. I'm trying to help y'all. I already got it. I already got my peace of mind. I understand the assignment that I'm on because all of the stuff that has taken place in my life, I know for a fact it ain't for me. It had nothing to do with me, but it had everything to do with what God has in store. And I don't know what that is. I'm just buckling up my seatbelt and enjoying the ride and seeing what he's saying. But I have to do my part. And this right here is one of my parts. I'm supposed to tell y'all all this. Y'all didn't know this. A lot of people know, but a lot of people didn't know this about me. Now y'all know. And knowing is half the battle. That's what G.I. Joe say. And know this. What I want y'all to do is get that link in your Sha-Na-Na. I want your honest feedback on some questions. I'm just going to, all I want is your honest feedback. There's no obligation. I don't want you to do anything but fill out this survey. Give me your honest feedback. Let them know I sent you. I'll get it once you do it. So don't be trying to tell me. I be having people tell me they did something and really didn't do it. Like, what's the point of that? Like, what will really be the point of that? I don't know, but it's okay. But look, this was day 18 of our 90-day faith and freedom challenge. I'm walking by faith, not by sight. Why? Because I am the righteousness of God. And at this present time in my life, I promise you, I am I'm in my mind, I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise, and the days of barely making it are over. I'm not barely making it. I am making it. I am thriving and surviving with the resources that I have in this season, and it will go and grow. It's time to tend the garden. It's time to tend the garden. That's what this is. So I want y'all to get into that survey, fill out the questions, give me your honest feedback, and then you will be automatically entered. Once you hit submit, I want you to be honest about what you put on this feedback. And then once you hit submit, you will be automatically entered into a drawing, and the prizes inside of the drawing are worth well over $1,200. I know some of them are gift cards worth up to $150. One is a 3-night getaway, and hey, half of y'all ain't went nowhere. Y'all working yourselves to life. I'm gonna let that sink in because y'all really not working yourself to life when y'all don't have the time and resources to do that. I love you too. Sauce the Barbara. Thanks for chiming in. I thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight on our day 18 of our 90-day faith and freedom challenge. And remember Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Thank you so much for tuning in to 369, So Much More Than Travel. I'm your hostess, always doing the most, is Tanya Evans, and I will see you next time. Goodbye for now.
She is frolicking on the beaches of South Carolina. All right, Tanya.